realistically?
Potentially, but it depends. You know, it depends how well-rounded your game plan is, or how much you have to change. Is it just small aspects of your game? Is it just a beginning of a round? Is it a couple of flashes, couple of smokes? If that's so, then maybe it's worth it. But if you have to change your game plan fundamentally to accommodate a player like Art, then I wouldn't do it. And most people, I think, have realized we don't need to.
Well, is this why Navi maybe is so successful against FURIA in particular, because they play that passive style, as you mentioned before? That's a lot harder for Art to be as successful as he is against other teams?
Potentially. I think there's a lot of good players within Navi who are, of course, explosive, right? You look at a guy like Simple, and initially speaking, you wouldn't really believe that Simple is playing on a slow-playing Navi team, right? But they're explosive in the middle of the round. Same for Electronic. He's explosive in the middle of the round. I would even say a guy like Flamey, good at holding angles, Perfecto as well. There's a lot of quality within Navi that can stop pushes like that. But I'm not saying that Art is without chance or FURIA is without chance here. If Navi, individually speaking, is not showing up on the server, that's when everything falls apart. If Flamey is not winning the duel when Art is pushing out into his crosshair, or if Perfecto is not winning the duel when Art is pushing into the crosshair, that's when everything starts to fall apart. So Navi, sure, they're playing slow, but they can be explosive as well with Simple and Electronic.
We'll see how explosive they can be as we're going to load into our very first map here with Navi heading up against FURIA. The first map is going to be Mirage, and of course, like always, me brought to you by the handsome gentleman in the commentator booth. It's going to be Sponge and Machine.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. This should be fun. I think anyone that's a fan of Counter-Strike will be gathering to witness Na'Vi FURIA. European soil for a while for the South Americans, and Na'Vi, no slouch in the head-to-head.
Oh, I cannot wait for this one. The stylistic clash alone, as well as having Simple in the server. But the big talking point out the gate is, where the bloody hell is Flamey? Bit is in for another map here. The six-man roster in the Na'Vi roster lives on.
It turns out if you ace the pistol in a competitive opening game of your Pro League, you get another chance.
We'll give him another crack. Here he is, aggressive up mid.
See if he can find some more heads. He gives it a go, and it is favourable trades to FURIA. Art's fallen. Boomich has actually doubled on the A lurk, so as they all gather in middle, this one's competitive once again. Rush is on the observer. So when you miss kills and spam T tours, be sure to file your complaint
He loves that one. He loves that one. See, he's getting a bit sassy today.
Yeah, watch, here's 3.
Okay. Simple. Oh, well, that.
It's 3 for Queserado.
Cool to see it from Queserado's POV, but
Still counts, still counts.
he caught the death. Oh, we'll give him a tick for that one.
That's
right
fine,
there.
that's fine. I'll give him 80%.
This one is going to slow out a little bit here as FURIA have 2 USPs picked up. They've leveled the playing field against Boomich and Perfecto. Might need an ace for this one.
There's so much to talk about in this game. The fact that Junior is in this roster and the whole squad are now communicating in their second language is another conversation point. It hasn't seemed to affect them in a large quantity either. Their results have not taken a wild dip. The stats don't point towards a transition to speaking in your second language to be as much of a burden as many would have considered for FURIA. But now, as they work their way through this man advantage, they head to apps. Perfecto's there to receive them. He's holding the line. Yet to fire a single bullet is Perfecto. And so far,
Nice
so
shot.
good. Great adjustment.
Oh, so much damage.
Serato, he's single-handedly hitting all the shots necessary. Junior quite the opposite. And now, oh, the plant. Boomich can deny, and he will. Swings out. Junior can't get his weapon out in time. It's 3 for Boomich. 2 for Perfecto. Between the two of them, that's a full ace. FURIA fall in the pistol.
We have so many things, as you mentioned, to talk about. Like, we could talk about Simple's 88 kills yesterday in the series. We could talk about the fact that this is the 3rd map now that Bit is playing for Na'Vi. We saw him in Overpass yesterday. Traditionally, he plays Inferno. Now he's playing Mirage. This is the first time.
This is the first time, and I've got even more for you, Chad. Let me add more to the pile.
I like more.
Head-to-head, Na'Vi have not dropped a map to FURIA.
Yeah, that is dating all the way back, like an organizational thing, all the way back to 2019. Now, sure, you can think, yeah, the matchup's a bit spotty. FURIA in their best form at the moment, but that Katowice game that Jason and Pim were just referencing, another 2-0. So Na'Vi, they have some kind of hoodoo over FURIA for this one, but
they made like an art doll out of straw.
You shall not push.
Yeah, you shall miss your AWP shot. Regardless, speaking of AWP, Simple's pulled one out early into the fray.
Of course he has. Thank you very much, Boomich. 3 kills and a defuse. That has facilitated that AWP, and against a force by a FURIA, it could be very welcome.
Okay, Bit responsible for middle. And so many targets. Yuri's been given the AK-47. Queserato and Art wielding them as well. That's the power of a plant, ladies and gentlemen. This is such a threatening round. And Bit, through movement alone, has got info. Middle is lost. They boost for try and catch that jungle rotate, but no movement yet. In fact, it's Simple that moves his finger to the trigger to catch that Apps lurk. And they've parked Perfecto already in Apps, so there's so much control now for the Na'Vi CTs. Oh dear.
Yeah, well, they're all grouped up, they're corralled, but they have to hit the shots, and Boomich again steps on out.
Like, Electronic was supposed to be taking first contact. Now he's been baited in perfectly. They're worried about Boomich. There's all looking at Boomich. Simple draws fire. Bit unloads, and Electronic has 2 free frags.
Well, as you like.
Is flawless from the CT setups there of Na'Vi.
Oh, third round of the game. 3 AKs on the CT side and an AWP. Things are looking great for Na'Vi out the gate on this one.
Oh, yeah, and it's going to be very hard to have a jovial fist bump when you realise that that is the Na'Vi economy.
If I'm Perfecto, I'm here. Guys, you're all set. Let me run out with the MP9, all right? I'll get us some extra money. I'll find where they are. You guys let me hunt for these kills.
Like, anyone but Perfecto dies first, you're a bit of a plum.
Yeah, well, these... a little bit of utility is enough for an AXQ. We can have one for the top stairs, one to complete the wall, and one for CT. Here they come on over.
Well, can't stop Perfecto here. It's going to be Boomich to keep them at bay. A great one tap into Yuri, puts his head in the vice, and it's slammed closed. They get a plant out of this. This is great stuff from FURIA. They've made a lot out of a little here.
I'd be happy with that plant.
Yeah, seriously. I think that Cloud9 game kind of just led me to write these rounds off as nothing, but they've used their smokes to get a bomb plant. That's $800 when they lose this round. Added to that loss bonus.
There's only one kit on Electronic, though.
That's trying to paint a picture, and K-Ceratos fills it in. Arts hit another with the P250. Time half ticked. Bomb planted open. Junior with only a Glock. Yeah, okay, and Boomich being low, legit has a chance.
Perfecto has the kit, but Boomich is tapping it.
Oh my god, it's Boomich that taps it. There was a small window for Junior to jump through.
Well, we can all get brought back down to earth relatively quickly there. The scenes of Na'Vi's buy previously looked great, but that was so close with so little.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Bring you down to earth, sure, but the fact that Boomich, smart cookie, he's the one that goes for it, despite Perfecto having the kit, because he knows if he goes down, that's enough time for Perfecto, A, with the rifle, B, with the health, and C, with the kit, to solve the mystery. This is great individual, nuanced decision-making. Boomich takes this 10-second fake so that Perfecto is in the right place to stop the swing.
Always a tough one right there.
Really cool, really cool.
Look at this. Vinny's going retro too. He's brought out the Krieg. AWP for Junior.
Oh, we haven't seen a Krieg in the hands of a aggressive Brazilian in some time. Nico, of course, returning it to the fray. All of those insane matchmaking gamers blowing my head off with it as well. And it's 2 opening frags for FURIA to open up the account. K-Cerato with a lot of control. He's going to keep Perfecto honest. I'm surprised Perfecto hasn't dropped a smoke. He's still happy to let them walk in apps.
Yeah, well, they've got...
He's alone.
They've kind of got to retool this right now. Bit could get Art if he clears just below him. Is he gonna...
Nope.
He didn't completely check it. That was almost a freebie for Bit. Perfecto's dead now. Mollying each other are FURIA. That's how good of a time they're having.
That's for the instant pop on the window cross.
But Bit's still here. This scope may have been heard and... Wow, look at Art.
Ay, ay, ay. Well, Vinny's on A and calling it clear, so I can't help but feel FURIA might take their time with this one. They don't want to be running into the potential.
It's still going. The bomb's still there.
Okay, so there is a world where Na'Vi have a chance here.
Oh, they just pulled the cord.
They're going? Yeah, they
They're
are.
falling back now.
Oh, they are. Vinny's done his due diligence.
But they're locked in already, so they can't save.
At least not easily, yeah. K-Cerato's got his 3rd frag. Confirms his B presence. He's surely going down now to Bit.
The flank from Art's coming too.
Oh, he
there
can't.
it is.
Wow, this is perfect. FURIA, in the 2 rounds, not only was it the bomb plant and all of that goodness, but they managed to find a spotless conversion of their first weapon.
And that was huge. The fact that Vinny gets the one in Palace that we saw, and then Simple went for a pick over towards B and died as well. That's both extremities of the map already punished. Traditionally, on a map like Mirage, the focus is middle, right? You have a player cat, one connector, one in window. Well, Na'Vi had already given up 2 huge kills, which meant they had to gamble. FURIA pumping the brakes there. It wasn't traditionally how you see it. They pump the brakes, they go back as a pack. They just really waited, and Na'Vi came to them. Na'Vi will force with the AWP again.
If they take all their weapons out again, Chad, this is going to be a very big FURIA swing in momentum. Junior on the AWP, the North American that's been grinding hard. In fact, now in the server against the very man he aspired to work harder than. Simple as inspiration. Up mid, as you discussed, a bit more standard for Mirage as of yet.
Smells like a B split here. Bombs just been picked up top mid. They're boosting. Oh, are they? I thought they'd be boosting short.
Oh, nice elevated position. Perfected as well to do damage and get away. He still lives to tell his tale and not being caught by the Deagle. Yuri's in a prime position, but Electronic too quick. FURIA, this is looking disastrous now. Vinny can perhaps change things, but the ever-alert Bit, spotted, could be executed. Good control of the spray, and K-Cerato's put one in the feed to keep it 3v3. with Perfecto being so low, it's Simple who has to step up, and he has caught a quick glimpse of Boomich. Vinny working on it, sees the barrel, he's hunting. And it's Simple's frag. Just Queserato now would need to find 2 more. Perfecto is so close. That is enough. Na'Vi will take full control and double AWPs recovered as well. Simple really saved them there.
Yeah, needed that one. Navi's bank was getting whittled down. FURIA can still buy. That's all predicated off of that low buy round with the plant where they almost pulled it out against Boomich and Perfecto. So money good for another full gun round. And Na'Vi right there, they were under the pump. If Bit didn't hit that deagle shot on Cat, I don't think they could have been re-peeking into that position.
True.
Silence down 4 for Bit. Double AWPs out. Perfecto, the secondary AWPer. Hello. That's normally Flamey's job.
He's charging up. Hot! Full air! He doesn't get his boots back on the ground. And Simple, characteristic miss, does give us a little bit of a chance.
Oh, Vinny's taking space off of all this distraction.
Yeah, there's a world in where he can cause absolute havoc now.
Just above him. Simple's gone the long way around, but there's no way
That's a nice little bait. Everything's so tidy. Okay, so bombs back to A. Vinny parking up in sandwich for the element of surprise, but this passive hold of A.
They only have 1 smoke for this, Alex.
So where do you put it? It's either CT. You either have to choose. Is it going to be electronic that's smoked out, or is it Simple?
Well, Vinny can fight. Oh, Vinny!
Oh, huge find! It cost him a great deal, but he's given his A players enough chance to get the bomb in. Yuri now knows there's 1 short. Northern knows he's actually taken the head off of Bit near jungle. Yuri, crucial fragging, even dropping the incendiary. They are all individually finding a way into the site. They've broken through. Boomich to fight his way back in. Perfecto still on the B site, completely disconnected. And so FURIA, with this bomb now ticking, have secured themselves a second.
Art really sold that mid play, right? The fact that he threw his body on the line right there. So many players were glued to his position, and Vinny pipped the gap, not Finny. Oh boy, Vinny.
It was a bit finicky.
Yeah, well, the fact that he got that much space is a real issue, because rotating back in, you could see Simple wasn't ready for that. Obviously, the players over towards jungle and window weren't ready for that as well.
Like, that's like another example. You know how like a lot of teams used to park a player and connector, like the Carrigan special?
Yeah.
You get someone up mid, you get park and connector, go B split, like lurk. It's like that, but he slipped out ramp. Like, that's a different gap to pip.
Yeah, it's a big one to find as well. And you're not expecting players to walk that gauntlet, because sure, if they're not close A ramp, if they're not under the balcony, there's traditionally someone towards ticket. So it's still a risky maneuver right there. FURIA doing good at punishing Na'Vi early. And with these saved guns, they'll be dropping them across. I'm really curious to see how Perfecto looks on the AWP. I don't have any problems with him picking it up. I'm just really interested to see how he plies it and how this whole Na'Vi defense works, because this is the first time Bit's playing Mirage.
They are talking it through. Yeah, and I mean, you know what, Chad? Saying Bit's first Mirage in an official capacity as they take a timeout to make sure everyone knows what they're doing, it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and with the rest of the maps in the veto, I'm just going to go over this. I've jotted it down just to make sure I don't forget it. And we had Nuke as the second map. I think Flamey was in there yesterday. And then as the third will be Overpass, and that's where Bit was playing yesterday. So Bit played Overpass. He now plays Mirage, apparently, and Inferno. So he's starting to take over that slot.
Does it feel like a 6th man, or does it feel like just a slow, PR safe kicking?
Well, it might be one. It might be both, right? It might, because if Bit's producing more and they just feel like they need to give him more time, it can operate both ways. Give Flamey a break. Maybe he can come back in some better form in the future, and they can use him on seldom maps where he is comfortable. So it could work really well for Na'Vi here, but it is interesting to see this change come through. The last time Na'Vi played Mirage was against FURIA, and they won it. So changing the script here, keeping FURIA on their toes.
Couple of pistols could be exploited. You talked about Perfecto. He's only got a Desert Eagle this time, and Queserato previously has been pretty damn consistent at finding these apps pops. He's smoked off though, and they still demand some CT utility. Bit beheaded. He wanted info. He gets more than he bargained for. They have mid control.